Okay, I should probably get more key. What the fuck? Right, motherfucker, where are you? I know how to deal with you lot. Right, I think it ran off. It's time for us to discover the undiscovered. Undiscovered is a second-person found-footage Lovecraftian nightmare, developed by Torpilduke, developer of previous DreadX collection game Hand of Doom, and co-dev of Earl's Day Off. Because if there was one activity that needed to be made scarier, it was fishing. In this game, you play as the husband and wife archaeologist team of Marty and Janet Williams, who are camping in the jungles of South America, ready to explore an ancient tomb, apparently left undiscovered for 1,000 years. Notice I said you're playing as both of them. That's because we quite literally are. As I mentioned, this is a second-person game. We're playing as someone through the perspective of someone else. That's pretty interesting. For one, it's a good way of explaining how this is found footage. And two, not many games have done this. In fact, I can only think of two. Driver San Francisco and Kane and Lynch 2. Anyway, making it to the temple entrance, the two-person team quickly discovers they weren't the only ones to find this place after all. Turns out hundreds of years previous, some Spanish conquistadors went inside, looking for gold for their glorious empire. Shot in the dark, but judging by the fact our two buddies haven't heard of this little excursion, they never came back, did they? Oh, this bodes well. Once you're inside the temple, you immediately realise that this game's atmosphere is laid on so damn thick, you need a bloody chainsaw to get through it. From the monochrome footage, to the damage on the film print, to the constant rattle of the projector, it all adds an unnerving filter to the already dark temple, filled with bones. The notes left by the dead Spanish don't help to ease the fear either. And this is just the first level. One torch and pickaxe later, and things get much darker and foreboding. These skeletons aren't statues. Were the things that made this temple really that big? Oof, good thing they're all dead then. Still spooky though. That Silent Hill-esque droning ain't helping either. This is reminding me a lot of the Lovecraft story The Nameless City. Just instead of lizard people, we have giant skeletons. Oh, we do also have normal ones, but they're a bit stabbier than their bigger counterparts. Get out of my basement, He-Man! Things go from bad to worse as we follow the path of the dead Spaniards. The notes get more and more panicked. The walls turn to flesh, and the droning begins to sound more like chanting. This game doesn't ease you in at all. You enter into this knowing something is wrong, and have no choice but to see it through to the end. No jump scares, no action segments, just a journey through a foreboding tomb. But that's a journey you're taking yourself. I'm not going to spoil what lies beneath these ruins. Just know, whatever it is, it's been waiting for you. He's just standing there. Do you want like a cup of tea or something? I'm sure I can find a kettle in here somewhere. Or we can watch another tape. The Diving Bell is a first-person, underwater isolation simulator game developed by Bathysphere Games. We play as the sole survivor of a horrific explosive decompression accident, trapped far below the ocean waves, in some kind of undersea base, typing out logs for some unseen company that never responds. As you can probably guess, this is doing his mental health a world of good. It's not my fault, it's not my fault, it's not my fault! This is another game in this collection that, in my opinion, takes a rather unique approach to horror. You're just tapping away on the keyboard, writing up the log when something fails. The explosive decompression seems to have caused some kind of tectonic activity, destabilising and damaging the base, and you're the only one around to keep this running. You're all alone, with just the sounds of creaking bulkheads and the ocean outside to break the silence. Creepy stuff, yes, but if you get anxious about all this, you got pills to keep everything together. But they won't stop the guilt, especially when your ex-crewmates start talking to you, judging you as they peer through the glass. Why did you kill them? Why? Why? Maybe you should join them outside. Something out there seems to find you quite interesting. Or is it just in your head, a mind racked by guilt and loneliness? I feel this is as far as I can talk about this without spoiling everything, so I'll leave the rest up to you. Definitely give this a look. Just maybe pack more anti-anxiety meds and a ton of fuses. So, that statue sure is, something. Charlotte's Exile is a first-person, Eldritch language translation game, developed by John Szymanski, developer of Carl is Famous and Rubber Ducky and the Rainbow Gun. Excuse me, what? In this game, you play as the boyfriend, husband, possible stalker of the eponymous Charlotte, who went missing whilst dabbling with the occult. She has apparently been cast into the ancient realm, which I think is another way of saying divorced you and fled to England, and it's up to us to get her back. After stealing some old guy's note, our main man heads to the Great Library to find a way to do just that. Of course, this isn't going to be easy. That note we nicked isn't in any human language, or even Klingon. No, it's in some godforsaken eldritch bollocks that we now need to translate to figure out the instructions. Now this sounds like it'd be annoying, but instead we have a really interesting puzzle horror game, where we have to flick through a book on Lovecraftian monsters, jotting down the letters that match up, learning about whatever may have taken Charlotte. Oh, just make sure to look up every now and again. Because that guy ain't happy with you being here. Notes in the book usually give you puzzle hints, but when you get to the page about the Eye of Nyarlathotep, it just outright tells you he's here, and you're going to need to look at him. He won't do anything if he's too far away, but if he gets too close, looking at him will get rid of him. For a time. It's surprisingly unnerving. There's that word again. Trying to rack your mind and figure stuff out, and he's just staring at you. I mean, he's just an eye on some tentacles. He can't really do much else. Now, I will warn you, this game does have some jump scares. Nothing too terrible, but they are there. But in my opinion, it earns it. Just sitting there, flicking through the book, the sound of a clock ticking away as you turn the pages. It lulls you into a place of safety, only to rip it away again. Now, I can't really talk about much else, as I'd be going into spoilers. Like, what does the clock do? What's in the box? That's up to you to find out, as I would definitely recommend giving this one a go. It actually reminds me a lot of the first Five Nights at Freddy's game, which, funnily enough, was the only one I liked. Will you bring her back? And if you do, is that a good idea? I'll leave you to figure that one out. This one is hard to talk about, mostly because there isn't much gameplay here.
Another late night.
It's a computer simulator game thing developed by Secret Cow Level, where you rifle through someone's PC because I'm not sure? You get messages you can't respond to. You read an article about a game where the dev kills the people who play it. Some text pops up on screen and seems to be assessing if you're a serial killer. So am I the killer dev? Was that real? Is this some kind of virus? Why is my wallpaper so small? I have absolutely no fucking idea. Look, there really isn't much here. I'm not hating on it. I like the idea, and I feel with more time you could get more from this. But this game was over in less than 10 minutes. And that was with me reading everything. I still recommend giving it a play, because I enjoyed the idea, and I love the rat pictures. But I really feel this needed more time in the oven. No offense. Oh boy. This one sure is something. Toy Store is a first-person shooter developed by... I can't pronounce that. Developer of previous DreadX game, Outsiders. In this game, you play as a toy soldier in some kind of land of toys. A land watched over by the shopkeeper. This game plays like a really basic Unreal project, and yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I like the idea of not knowing whether I'm really a toy, or if I'm being controlled by some kind of Lovecraftian creatures, but the execution is just... Now, I really don't want to shit on the devs. This was made in 10 days. With more time, I have no doubt this would be a lot better. But as it is now, instant kill robots, enemies seemingly popping out of nowhere, and extreme darkness, making even just progressing difficult. This needed more work. I liked being able to talk to people, I enjoyed that things are being kept from me by an unknown force, and I enjoyed the juxtaposition of toy-like objects and bloody masked freaks. This idea is great. It just needed more time to be better executed. No offense meant to the devs. It's just my opinion. Speaking of my opinion, oh boy. The Thing in the Lake is a retro horror game, developed by Panstaz, developer of the rather interesting horror RPG World of Horror. In this game, you play as a different person every chapter, all of whom end up at a resort in eastern Poland back in the 80s, where, yeah, things didn't go well. I can't really go in depth into the story without spoiling everything, but what I did read was interesting, and any game where a giant ape was barreling at me in Mach 5, yeah, that's, oh god, or at least it would be, if the game wasn't so annoying. See, when you hear a distant crash, that means the ape is heading your way, but it doesn't tell you from where. And this game likes to have them come out of the exit you're heading for, leading into a ton of instant deaths. In fact, that seems to be this game's MO. You making progress over there? This wouldn't be so bad if each chapter had checkpoints, but they don't. So if you die, you're starting that chapter all over again. Not so bad on the first chapter, but by the time you get to the last one, it just becomes infuriating. Killer triggered by tall grass? I'm fine with that. I can avoid the grass. Bear traps? I'll just move carefully. Time to head for the exit. Look, I really don't want to hate this game. The visuals are cool and still creepy, even while looking like an old PC game fucked a Game Boy. And the audio fits it really well. But when the game is this annoying, its charm fades rather fast. Kudos to the dev for making interesting games, but for the love of whatever god you believe in, make your next game less ball-achingly infuriating. Please? Because I really like your style. Ugh. Kinda looks like me in the morning. So, one last game. Wonder what it's about.
Akabaka.
Why? Sucker for Love is a horror visual novel developed by
Akabaka.
who's also the developer of a game called Chromatos, which I've never played. It's apparently another visual novel. I don't really play those. And yet, here we are. In this game, we play as a guy who's been dreaming about the Elder Gods. Like any sane person would, he decides to dedicate his life, and money, into summoning what he saw in his dreams. Eventually buying a copy of the Necronomicon off eBay. Yeah, I think you got scammed there, buddy.
Mortal.
Or not. Although, a bit different looking than I imagined. Like I never imagined Cthulhu with tits. Wait, why did we summon her? Why would you do that? I'm pretty sure you just ended the world. I hope you've got an excuse for this.
Eh?
What?
Don't say it again, creep! And how are you looking directly at me without being driven mad? Send me back.
Oh god, take me with you.
Where'd you get that book? It's not a Necronomicon. What Necronomicon is bright pink, silly? It's a survival guide. For dating me. It's full of rituals that I like. Offerings, spells, and how to protect your sanity while performing them. I am a cosmic entity beyond comprehension, so no amount of contact with me is safe for a human. Your mind could snap like a reed at any moment, actually. Oh, don't make that face. I can make it worth your while, if you understand what I'm getting at.
Oh. Oh no.
If you can make it to the end, darling. But if you chicken out or go insane, I'll end reality right then and there. No.
So that's the objective for this game. Make happy and get a smooch from her. And do it before she ends all reality. I can't talk much about it because, spoilers, I mean, at one point, you perform a fucking ritual just to make a cake. If that doesn't make you buy it, you're a humorless asshole. Just be careful what you wish for. Breaking up isn't going to be easy.
Darling, what are you looking at?
Porn. Wow, we've finally done it. All games have been played. We've unlocked all the secrets of this house, except one. What's behind that door? Something was holding it shut this whole time. I wonder, why? I'm not telling. That would just spoil the fun. You know what I'm gonna say. If you like the looks of this collection, then pick it up. There's a whole story behind this house hub that I haven't told you about, because I don't want to ruin the experience. I enjoyed almost all the games in this collection, and the ones I didn't enjoy as much, at least had good ideas behind them. It's amazing these were all made in 10 days. I'd highly recommend giving this collection a look. I had more fun playing most of these than playing most AAA horror games that have come out recently. At least nothing in this gave me a migraine. Or, you know, told me how running works. Yeah, thanks, Dead Space.